anybody hear me? Are we having fun yet? Oh my gosh, I get to talk about my very favorite topic, belief. Because it starts with you. And for those of you who haven't heard my story, I'm going to give you some pieces of it. But I came from a medical background. I treated strokes, cancers, heart attacks for people that had, in many cases, had horrible things happen to them. So prevention is something that I hold very dear. Anti-aging and taking care of the body that we're given is something that I hold as very special. Every morning I wake up, I'm grateful for that gift. I was introduced to this industry 18 years ago next month. I didn't understand direct sales. It wasn't something I was trained in. But when I learned about it, I couldn't walk away. I loved the concept, and you guys are going to laugh, but of making money while I was sleeping. I don't know why I thought that was really a neat concept, but while you're sleeping, there are other countries in which there are people working that you make an amount of money off of. I love that concept. Now, the company that I first got involved with for 9.5 years called themselves an international company, but they were basically US, period. When I saw what we had to offer here at Nu Skin, I loved the one world, one people, one concept. And the more I've traveled with this business, the more I've seen people are the same. There are cultural differences, but people are the same. They have skin all over the world. I've seen it. They have skin all over the world. They want to look younger. They want to feel better. They want to make a difference in the world. They want financial freedom. They want the time to enjoy financial freedom. And they want to have fun. They want to work with positive people who are on a journey. It doesn't matter whether you're old or young, male or female, what color your skin, what religion you practice, what language you speak. This is an opportunity for human beings all over the world. And I started my business where I live in Santa Barbara, California, and it grew into 32 countries. I love that. Countries I have never been to, but one person who knew somebody else, who knew somebody else. It didn't happen by accident. It happened with passion, and it happened with belief. But I'll tell you, I spent 9.5 years in a different deal, and I studied. I studied the industry very carefully. I became a student. I learned from some amazing mentors. I learned from John Wooden. I learned from Brian Tracy. I learned from Gary DeRitter. I learned from Jim Rohn, and I studied. And one of the most polished presentations, no, I'll change that. One of the most amazing presentations that created a defining moment for me, I came to meetings, and I know I might relate to some of you, hopefully in the audience, where I felt like I was pretending. I kept coming to the meetings, I kept talking with urgency to my guests when my guests weren't coming. And I remember sometimes driving 5 and 7 hours, and my guests canceled. Or they said they'd meet me there, and not only did they not come with their massive group of guests, they didn't come themselves. I don't know if anyone else can relate, or that's just my story. But I remember thinking people would be watching, thinking, oh, poor Paige, here she is again, 7.5-hour drive, she's here by herself. But I thought, there's a pearl of wisdom, there's something I will learn here. But I remember a woman standing on stage, who I will not tell you her name, but she actually instilled belief in me in a way that was different than most. She stood on stage and she flapped her arms and said, I love this multiple level marketing. She didn't even know how to say it. She was not a polished presenter. She said, I'm making $36,000 a month and I don't even know how to do that. And I thought, I was sitting about 7 rows back, and it was better than any polished presentation because I realized you do not need to be a rocket scientist to be very successful in this business. It doesn't take any specialized degree. It takes a little bit of luck and a lot of work. But luck is really preparedness and work coming together with the right opportunity. So 7.5 years ago, when Dan McCormick, who many of you know, does millionaire training every Saturday out of the goodness of his heart to teach us his pearls of wisdom, and I was contracting with 5 hospitals in Santa Barbara, and he called and said, Paige, somebody like you should be making at least $20,000 to $50,000 a month residual income. And I laughed, and I said, yeah, I agree. Who's gonna pay me that, Dan? I'm certainly not a Dan McCormick. I'm only a Paige Riffle. Now think about that, you guys. Sometimes when you're talking to people, you see in them what they don't yet see in themselves. He saw something in me I didn't yet understand in myself. He said once, maybe twice in your lifetime, something comes your way that can change your life forever with regard to your financial future. And then he said, is this your first or your last time? And I thought, what if it's my last time? I mean, how many of you know that you've been given an opportunity and you didn't even see what it was until it was too late? And I said, well, does marriage by association count? Because when I met my husband, he had just turned down a chance to be one of 10 original investors in a little innovative company called Nike. And he said, no, for $1,500. Interesting amount, don't you think? There are no coincidences. But for $1,500, it would have made him worth over $100 million today at age 20 if he just was in the right place at the right time, but there's a caveat, and taking action. Well, that was a wave. This is a tsunami. And where we are right now today, and I talked about this a little bit on Tuesday's General's Call, we are exactly where we were when I was introduced to this company 7.5 years ago. Although that was a blip. I made my first million with this company with the nutrition part because nobody can tell me prevention of illness is too expensive. Try getting sick. You talk about expensive, try dying. A funeral's expensive. Prevention is not expensive. But that was a little blip compared to where we are right now. I was a blue diamond before the scanners ever worked. I went blue diamond in 12 months, team elite in 18 months. I've been involved 7.5 years, team elite 6 of those 7.5, and it's not because of me. It's because somebody believed in me, and I borrowed that belief, and I paid it forward and instilled that belief in people I talked to. Because I don't believe any of us were meant to be average. I don't think we were put on this planet to be average. All of us were meant to be extraordinary, but too many times we settle for ordinary. Too many times we settle for letting somebody else tell you what you're worth. You heard Brittany, you heard Derek. My daughter is just the same. You look at generations coming into this business. My daughter Sierra just graduated, she's a Ruby, but she just graduated with her doctorate in veterinary science. So she is now Dr. Sierra Riffle. But when she first got up to college, first got up to veterinary school, and they said starting salary was $70K, and she said, a year? And two of her friends elbowing her said, well, yes, Sierra, what do you think, a month? She said, absolutely, people make that, you know. I hang around them. When you're parents and you're bringing kids up in this kind of an environment, you guys, you've blown off the ceilings on what other people believe. Because your belief will take you wherever you want it to be. What we're seeing right now with that mouse video and that vitality will change your life. It will change everybody's life when you put it in front of, way before the product ever comes out. This is the impending event. Do you understand that? I got that. That's the one thing I got 7.5 years ago. It was the impending event. I came back from the international conference. I knew nothing. All I got was that North America wasn't represented at that conference. 17,000 people and a 5'10" blonde walking through a sea of people that were a lot shorter than me, with dark hair, speaking all kinds of Asian languages that I couldn't understand. And I thought, what happened to our North America? Why didn't we catch this wave? What were we missing? This is our wave. This is it. And where we are right now with this vitality, all you guys have to do is show them the mouse video or talk about it. You don't need to be sophisticated. You don't need a degree. You just need to have it in your heart. You just need to have that belief so strong. And you need to believe in yourself before you believe in anybody else. You have to start with you. You have to do the personal development. You have to do the system, so you're indoctrinating your own way of thinking, your own subconscious mind, so you become powerful in your belief. Your nonverbal communication is more powerful than the words you say. It's not the words that you use. There's no magic formula. There's no magic wording. You speak from your heart. This is a relationship business. You build a team that holds hands around the world, one people, making a difference in the world, one child at a time, one person at a time. And do you know what the product is that we're selling? It's not really even age-locked vitality, you guys, it's not. It's called freedom. It's freedom to own your own life, to work with people you choose to work with, to have all of your dreams come true. When people say, well, I don't need the money, I don't need to do this for the money. Yes, you do. Because imagine what dreams you could make happen if you had no financial limitations, none, zero. You had an endless amount of finances. Who could you help? What missions of your heart could you make a difference with? Who would you offer that gift with? When people come to me and say, well, you're just amazing at sales, I'm insulted. I don't see myself as a salesperson. I couldn't sell anything to anybody, but I see this as an obligation. I see this as a gift. I see this as my obligation to pay it forward because 7.5 years ago, Lon and Dan believed more in me than I believed in myself. That's all I see. And the only reason that I have leaders in my group doesn't say anything about me. It says that there were people that had courage and the work ethic and the ability to run with me and have fun together. The sad thing for me is when I see people quit and they say, it was just too hard. I did this for a couple of months, it was too hard. Really? Seriously? Do you ever see Olympic athletes say this? This is game on. This is your game. This is your destiny. You may not all get it. You may not all stay. But you will have a defining moment somewhere inside of you where you will click. And all of a sudden it will become very easy. Because you will understand this is not a game of convincing anybody. This is a gift. And this is a game of sifting and sorting. There are people out there deserving of this opportunity. I will forever be grateful that I was given this opportunity and that I'm given the gift and the ability to pay it forward. So that's my belief, and I just hope you do yourself the service of starting with you, believe in you, and pass it on. Thank you very much.